Sunyari Paskacharistani, Vanchakalpatarupishcha Kutasindhuvita, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Good morning, everybody. I want to be able to see. There you are. Hare Krishna. Hi, Hare Krishna Gandharvika, Hare Krishna Monisha, Prema Kishori, Sitaram, Sudeep Prabhu, Mira, Srivatsa, and Rampriya Prabhu. Okay. So I'm going to try and follow in the footsteps of my illustrious god brother Vaisheshika Prabhu. And I looked up a couple of little nectar tidbits on Japa that Srila Prabhupada spoke at one time or another. And this one, this is something written by Satsrup Maharaj. And to say that when Srila Prabhupada made his journey to America, he had extreme faith in two things especially. One was the order of his spiritual master, and the other was in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And armed with these two potencies, these two beliefs, these two firm convictions, he was able to, at a very advanced age, cross the ocean alone, survive heart attacks, continue on. I mean, how many of us have been on our way to do something and we catch a cold, or we get the flu, or we stub our toe, or something happens, we say, oh, I'm going to call in sick today. I can't do it today, right? Can't go to school today. I have a stomach ache. Can't go to work today. I have a headache. But Srila Prabhupada continued to a country that was completely strange to him for our benefit, because he had such faith in his Guru's instructions and in chanting of the holy name. So when he came to America and he ended up with this little crowd of hippies around him, which he said many times, that's not what he expected. He was really expecting to preach to the intelligentsia, to the leaders of society. Instead, he ended up with us. He had to transform these misbehaved kids into Vaishnavas. And he did it with his faith in the holy name. So here's a little something from Satsrup Maharaj. He said, like Srila Prabhupada's preaching, his chanting was constant. While talking in his room with professors in Toronto, Srila Prabhupada silently chanted the Hare Krishna mantra in between their academic words. When Prabhupada encouraged his disciples to chant Hare Krishna, while sitting with them during a prasadam feast, one of the devotees replied, "But Swamiji, how can we chant and eat at the same time?" "Chant in between bites," Srila Prabhupada said. We can hear Srila Prabhupada's Japa on a recording. He chants quickly, and he says that 16 rounds of Japa can be done in 1.5 to 2 hours. So Srila Prabhupada encouraged us to chant very carefully, listening to every word. That there's other quotes like that. But even at times when we can't do that, even while we're eating, sitting in a car while we're having a conversation with someone, chanting is so, so important. And Srila Prabhupada knew that just by repeating that instruction over and over again, that this movement would take root and hold. And sometimes we like to think, this movement grew because we built this temple, or we did this, or we did that. But actually, it's the chanting is the actual nourishment of the movement. It's the seed. It's the foundation, and it's what's going to keep this movement going in the future. So let's chant with sincerity, with feeling, with intention, and then we can get back to seeing how we feel afterwards. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Monisha, can you put on Prabhupada chanting in the background?
Yes, Vajra.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare. Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Ram 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 Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari Hari
Hare Hare Krishna
Ram 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 Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Hare 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 Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hari
Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari Hari Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari Ram Hari
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hari
Ram
Hari
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hari
Ram
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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hari Hari
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Hari Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hari
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari Ram 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 Hari
Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hari
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari Ram
Ram Hare
Ram
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 Hari
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hari
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram 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 Hari
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hari Hari
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Hari
Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hari
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hari
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hari
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hari
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hari
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
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 Hari
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram Ram Ram
Ram
Hari Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hari
Hare
Hari Hari
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Ram
Hari
Hare
Hari
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Ram Hari Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Hari
Ram
Hari
Ram Ram
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari Hare Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Ram Hari Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hari Hari
Hare
Hari Ram Hari
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hari Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari Hari Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Hari
Ram
Hari
Ram
Ram Hari
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hari Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hari Ram Ram
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hari
Hare
Ram Hari Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hari
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hari Hari
Hare Ram
Hari
Ram
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 Hari Ram 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare Hare Ram
Hari
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hari
Ram
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 Ram Ram Hari Hari Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Hari Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hari
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hari
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hari Hari
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hari Ram 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hari
Ram
Hari
Ram
Hari
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hari Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Ram
Hari Ram Hari Ram
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 Ram Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hari
Hare
Ram Hari Ram Ram Ram
Ram
Hari Hari
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hari Hari Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari Hari
Ram Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Ram Hari Hari
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hari Hari
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Hari
Ram
Hari
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Ram Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram
Hari
Ram
Hari
Ram
Ram
Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare
Hari
Hare Hare
Hari
Ram
Ram
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari Ram
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hari
Hare
Hari
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hari
Ram
Hari
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hari
Ram
Hari
Ram
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram Ram Ram,
Ram 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 Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram Ram Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Hare 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 Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Ram Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Gaur Bhaktavinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Gaur Bhaktavinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Gaur Bhaktavinda. I don't know how long the session goes on. Did I cut it too short?
It goes to 8, Bhakti.
Till 8, but when does reflection start?
The last 15 minutes.
50, okay, so we can chat another round. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari Hari Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hari Hari Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hari Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hari Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hari Hari
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hari
Hare Krishna,
Hari Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare.
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hari
Ram,
Hari Ram Ram Ram
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hari Hari
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Hare Hare.
Hari Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Ram,
Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hari
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hari
Ram
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hari
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hari
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hari Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hari
Hare.
Ram 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 Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hari
Ram,
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hari
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hari
Krishna Krishna
Hari
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare Krishna
Ram Hare Hare.
Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hari
Hare Ram,
Hari
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
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 Hari
Krishna, Hare
Hari
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Krishna,
Hari
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hari
Ram
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hari
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram
Ram Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Ram Ram Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Ram
Ram Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna. So I thought I'd share with you a couple of my special tools, Japa tools, that I've used over and over again through the years. First and foremost is my rocking chair. When we were new devotees, the householders in Los Angeles, we had really beautiful apartments and we didn't get any furniture. So I remember that I had a beautiful altar up on the wall and the floors were always shiny clean. And I might have had a few pillows on the floor, but all of a sudden there was a trend that started and the householders began to get rocking chairs. And it was a big thing. The householders are getting furniture. And it turned out that Srila Prabhupada loved his rocking chair. He always would have one. When you go to Vrindavan, you could see one in his quarters up in his room. And I find that it's hard for me to sit still in one place when I chant, unless I'm in a rocking chair. That I could sit in a rocking chair and chant 16 rounds without having to get up, unless I need to get up for getting something. But actually, that's another tool. I keep my water bottle near me, and I don't keep my cell phone near me. And I meditate on Gornitai. This is my altar, Srila Prabhupada. It's a little chilly in the morning. It's my happy place. And I wanted to read one more little excerpt about japa from Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes we think in terms of restrictions for our devotional service. There's a proper place for everything and everything in its place, but not with japa. Not japa, but chanting the holy name. So this is a letter. This is from an excerpt that Prabhupada wrote, a letter to Minoru and Kenji, and I don't know who they are. Even when you are walking, you can softly chant Hare Krishna, or even when you are on the bus going somewhere, you can always chant. When you are working with your hands, you can chant. When you're resting or going to take rest, you can also chant. Even in your toilet room while you're taking bath, you can chant. In this way, there is no limitation or restriction for chanting the holy name of God, Krishna, and his energy, Hara. In doing this business, there is no loss. There is every gain, which is transcendental realization. When I was getting my second initiation, Gayatri Mantra, from Srila Prabhupada, I was 19 years old. I'd only been a devotee for 6 months. I was pretty scared. Most of you have been to Los Angeles and have seen where Prabhupada's quarters are. So there's a big long staircase going up to his room. And I remember Shrutikirti Prabhu was at the top of the stairs beckoning me to come. And I'm at the bottom of the stairs looking up. My heart's pounding. And I'm about to have my first personal darshan with Srila Prabhupada. So I walk up the stairs, I walk into the room, and I offered my obeisances. And I got up and I stood in front of Srila Prabhupada, and I just was very nervous. I was just stood there. And Srila Prabhupada looked at me and he said, "So, you're chanting 16 rounds?" And I just looked up at him and said, "Yes, Srila Prabhupada." And he nodded, very good. And then we proceeded to the seat where he taught me to chant on my hands, Gayatri Mantra. But over the years, it's made me think that was the only personal association I had with Srila Prabhupada. And it was the only thing he ever said to me or asked me. And japa is our most important thing. You can do it without your beads. You can do it anywhere you are, and no one can take that from you. So anyway, I'd like to hear from some of you now what your reflections are, what your meditation is when you chant, what you like to think about. Akruranath?
Myself. I've been studying 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita lately. And of course, we know Krishna never recommended Arjuna to go to a secluded place and sit on a deer skin and a soft cloth and just meditate on the supersoul in his heart. He told Arjuna to, win the battle and rule over a prosperous kingdom. But Krishna is still explaining in the 6th chapter, how one actually achieves samadhi, that one actually has to give up completely all sankalpas for material sense gratification and think of nothing else, and be able to control the mind and bring it back. And I'm thinking that our japa period, our 1 hour a day when we do that, of course, the chapter concludes that the greatest yogi is the devotee, but that means the devotee also is fully absorbed and completely free from material sense gratification, and is in a even deeper, greater samadhi. So we think of Krishna while we're, cleaning the temple and cooking for Krishna, worshiping the deity, or out on book distribution and so forth. But when we, when we sit down still and chant japa, it strikes me that, now we are deliberately pulling the mind back from where it wanders, like is described in the 6th chapter, and trying to go deeply absorbed in our meditation on Krishna. And this is an important part of our devotional practice as bhakti yogis.
Thank you. Someone else have a reflection or a tool or a nectar to share?
Hare Krishna,
Radha Kripa Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, just hearing your personal interaction with Prabhupada, I was wondering, like, what sort of mercy was flowing at that time at the age of 19, have no idea who Krishna is, a few years ago, and, taking a second initiation and then going strong after 40, 50, I don't know, count years, it's just amazing. That feeling itself that, you are here and you're talking like that, it feels like somehow that mercy we are able to witness or, see or feel it, from your mouth and, with the Akruranath Prabhu's realization. So this is a very unique time, I just wanted to hold this time, as it should become still so that it should move forward, because it's very, as time moves forward, the mind feels like, oh man, life is going to become, as moves on, things will change, so I'm really, really grateful for you sharing and, those precious things. So thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Jai, it'll be 48 years this May that I got initiated. And yeah, I always thought that if I ever wrote a book, I'd call it Perfect Timing. It was not in my control, but who can imagine? I was just a bratty teenager, to get that kind of mercy. And we didn't know we didn't even appreciate it. I mean, we were in awe, definitely in awe. When Srila Prabhupada would come, it was like a demigod. I mean, I remember in Los Angeles, we would rent kettle drums. We'd rent these huge big kettle drums and we'd have so many flowers. And when Prabhupada would come, we would just like shower him with flowers and drums. And he was so happy to see us happy. That's another thing. He wanted us to be really joyful. Once he told us that, the women, he said he wanted us all to wear ankle bells. He wanted us all to wear ankle bells and dance at Artik. He really wanted us to be happy, not just figuratively, not just in the future, not just like, someday you'll get happy if you control your senses. He wanted us every day to enjoy every minute of our service to Krishna and him. Thank you, Prabhu. Anybody else? Somebody else? Come on. All right, then I'm just going to call. Okay. Shamarup Prabhu? Are you going to say something? You're muted. You're muted, Prabhu.
I was in a different microphone, sir. Can you? Yeah, sorry.
Die.
So I really liked how in the beginning you mentioned that we should chant, constantly. Especially you mentioned one incident where Prabhupada said, in between the bites, you chant. So I just, that was very inspiring actually, because this is a really good motivation to keep on chanting, even if we have completed 16 rounds. I remember in this wonderful book, I think The Living Name by Sachinandan Swami Maharaj, he was explaining that one time Prabhupada was, I believe, in Germany, and Prabhupada was in his quarters, and he somehow made his way through some stairs or some weird way. He landed in outside Prabhupada quarters, and because he was very curious and he wanted to observe what is Prabhupada doing in his own time, own space. So he went there and he saw from the window that Prabhupada is sitting, I believe, in the rocking chair that you were mentioning. He was mentioning he was kind of taking rest, a short nap, but he noticed something surprising, that even in that nap, Prabhupada was chanting softly, Hare Krishna, Hare
Yeah.
Krishna. Just like Arjun, he when he sleeps, he can't distance himself from chanting. So the holy name like vibrates from. So very aptly, how you encouraged all of us. I'm really grateful for that. It has been, it is very inspiring to me personally, how you said that. Keep on chanting. Don't.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for that.
Everyone
So
wanted to-
powerful.
Yes.
Sound vibration, it's so powerful. Think of a sonic boom. This is like our sonic boom. We're like destroying material anarthas and impurities and past simple reactions. We're just kind of sonic booming them with the holy name away, away. Every time we chant, getting a little closer to Krishna, step by step, day by day, mantra by mantra. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I was just thinking how you mentioned, can you hear me?
Oh, Hare Krishna Gandarika. Yes, I hear you.
I was just thinking how you mentioned that chanting can be done everywhere. And that's the example we can see in all the Shastras also. Like when Draupadi was chanting, like she didn't have beads, but it was not early in the morning, and she was not in the right mood, but helplessly she chanted. And I was just thinking how that's so much true, that the holy name is our only protection. And sometimes, I think that, oh, it's not in the morning, I won't be able to chant with focus. But still, if we really take shelter of the holy name, it helps us. And that's very encouraging, because sometimes we are traveling or our health is not good. No restrictions, we can keep chanting. Yeah.
Thank you. It's so, so true. It's, we're affected by the modes of nature. So, of course, the early morning hours, the mind is more quiet, the mode of goodness. Then in the mode of passion, there's more distraction. And then at night, of course, mode of ignorance, it's a little harder. But the holy name doesn't change. The holy name doesn't have more potency early in the morning than it does late at night. It's just how we're affected. And if you tune in to the holy name, to the mantra, to the vibration, it doesn't matter. There's no more day and night. There's no more modes of nature. There's no more material energy. It's just transcendental sound that you're absorbed in, like drops of mercy from Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. And I remember another good point you brought up, Prabhupada says that in the remember the old Radha Krishna Temple album? When Prabhupada speaks in the beginning of that, he says one should chant like a child crying for its mother. And I love that. That's one of my favorite, most inspiring quotes from Srila Prabhupada, because if you for a minute think about a baby and how they know nothing but their mother. They don't even know anything yet. It's just, they've just emerged into the world and their mother is everything. So, and when they cry, they really cry for her. And if you think like that, and that's how Prabhupada said we should chant Japa. So thank you so much. Do we want to do more or should we end? I like this.
Malini.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Oh, Hare Krishna Malini.
Please accept my humble obeisances always, Shri Prabhupada.
Hi. Please accept my words to
Mataji, I really like the point that you made about some people cannot stay still and chant. And sometimes we stereotype ourselves saying that only if you stay still and chant, that's the only way you can chant. But you've encouraged so nicely that, okay, if you cannot stay still, use a rocking chair, whatever makes it work for you. I was so happy to hear that, because there are some devotees who say that, I cannot stay still and all that. but there's a solution for everything. And then you gave us a nice way where we can use that and somehow make it work for chanting. So I was so happy to hear that. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you. Just remember, Maya Devi is very, very tricky, and she's very, very smart. And she can easily just whisper in your ear, you can't really chant unless you sit still. So, don't even, it's not going to work. It's not going to work today because you're not feeling right and you're too agitated, and it's not going to work in the afternoon because you got too much to do. And she just whispers, she's whispering. She's a pure devotee. And honestly, she wants you to go back to God. And she does really want it. She's not your enemy, but that's her job. Her job is to kind of keep all the insincere souls away. So only the ones that really are qualified get through. So any time you make an effort to chant, any endeavor you make, I remember in Los Angeles, well, probably even today, if you went and chanted Japa in the temple room, there were some pretty zany things that the brahmacharis would do to be able to chant, like hitting their heads on the wall and slapping themselves in the face and like, to stay awake during Japa time. And Krishna blesses that, if you're making an effort to pay attention to the holy name, that's a good thing, so yeah, I love my rocking chair. I stand by it. Anybody else? Monisha, you got anything?
Well, since you asked, I guess I can add a little bit of sense. But yeah, this morning I didn't really know what to meditate on because school just ended for me, so it's spring break, so I don't have to ask or pray for grades or anything at the moment. But so I was thinking, what do I pray for, or what should I do in this morning for my sankalpa? And then I came to the realization that every time I chant or whenever I'm praying, it's always me asking something for Krishna, like, please give me good grades, please help me wake up early in the morning. And it's always me taking something or asking something from him, and it's never me really just being sincere and trying to give. It's not like I can give anything to Krishna, but just my sincerity. And so when you mentioned this morning, let us just chant with sincerity, I was thinking, how should I be sincere? And I guess I'm still learning, but by seeing all the devotees today just made me realize that I should try to be sincere, and by taking small steps, so like putting my phone away and putting my phone in a different room. So I tried that this morning. I didn't touch my phone throughout my japa, so I was very happy that I was able to make some progress in that way.
Hi, that's a big one. These phones are such an addiction. Well, I guess we should end it because Akruranath Prabhu is going to be doing the Ramayan reading now, and I'm cutting into his reading time. So this has been fun. Thank you all so much. I really miss your association. Can't wait to get back to the temple and see you all face to face. Jai, Vanchakalpa Trubhishya, Kripasinda Priya Vachapati Tanam Pavani Vivashnavi Vinoma.